All right, word. Get started. Wait, are you gonna ask us the question?
Yeah.
All right. Wait,
Am
is this gonna be too loud?
Am I looking at the camera?
You're looking at me.
Also,
or camera.
that might be too loud.
That's fine.
Okay.
Because you're gonna hear your voice at the same time with the buzzer. So
Okay.
Alright,
And I'm looking at the camera, or
or
you?
you can look at me.
Okay.
Whatever you want. We're just
Yeah.
having a conversation.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm a junior this year. Been a pretty good season so far. Had a good tournament in the beginning of the year. Now, just been a grind with the dual meet season, which is coming to an end here shortly. We only have 3 left, 2 more weekends. So excited for that. Got some good guys coming up to wrestle. And then Ivies, that's kind of what we look to peak for. So I'm excited. I'm actually excited for it to be in New York City. I feel like that'll be pretty sick. Getting to compete there. We have a huge alumni network up in New York, and I'm sure a lot of them will come up for that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the end of the years and then nationals in Cleveland. But yeah, I mean, we came from Florida originally. We went to Lake Highland Prep. Shout out LHP. And so yeah, it's been a big adjustment. Apparently this has been the coldest winter New Jersey's ever had. And tell you in the short, it's not been fun. So yeah, I feel like that's been the biggest adjustment. Just I'm not a cold person. I hate it. I actually hate it. Last week, I think they said last Saturday it was like -14. It feels like it was not fun.
Yeah, so I'd say it was just a mix of kind of all of it. Definitely one Ivy League best in the country. So I think that was big. I know our parents were always kind of harsh on like the academics, and they use that kind of wrestling as kind of like the gateway almost, and continue to pursue like both of them at the same time. And I think kind of Princeton gives you that edge to be able to do that. So I think that was probably the best part of coming here. You kind of get both things, and that's kind of what we decided. Also, it was nice having him here because I think we definitely grew a lot closer through that. And yeah, I just love the environment, love the coaches. I don't think most schools have like the privileges we have, so.
I've wrestled since I was 8, 2nd grade. Tried a few sports here and there when I was in elementary school, but nothing really stuck like wrestling. I don't know, we always liked to fight each other when we were home. Got in trouble for it, so they put us in wrestling to kind of fix that. The only other option was like boxing. My mother was having none of that, so.
I feel like wrestling was like perfect because you can't really do boxing in college. It's more of like separated. Colleges don't have it, so I think it was like the perfect mix. I think whatever we did, like combat sport wise, would have been good, but I think just wrestling teaches you just different things, discipline, all that that you don't really get from other sports. So I think that's kind of what stuck with us the most. But yeah, kind of like what he said, it was like a lot of like we were always scrapping in some way or form. I remember we were homeschooled for a good bit of our career, and in middle school and elementary school, so our desks were like 5 feet apart. And I remember one time our mom came home and we were supposed to be doing school, and we were just like fighting, and that got us in trouble a few times. But
a lot of like little moments that I'll get on my Snapchat memories that'll come up like 1 year ago, 2 years ago. I mean, I feel like most of them are on trips, like in the airport. Like we traveled a lot in high school, so a lot of it was like a lot of this stuff happened like in the airport, like on the bus rides, like a lot. And honestly, now a lot of it is like after weigh-ins. Like I feel like we just have like that 2-hour weigh-in is pretty long, so that first hour we're all just like goofing around, making jokes with the coaches, with the rest of the team. So I feel like that's probably where most of it comes from now, and maybe the bus ride back if we wrestled good. It's good, it's nice. I feel like it actually helps a lot for a lot of like my routine stuff, especially. So like in high school, a lot of my when we'd have like 2-day weigh-ins and stuff, I'd always like drill with him like after the matches. Like he'd wrestle, and then I wrestle, and then we go drill. And so now it's nice to be able to go back to that the past 2 years. And even like he pushes me a lot more in like conditioning stuff or like running or that kind of stuff. So it's nice to have somebody to compete against and push you to like kind of do better. And it's always a little bit deeper just because it's your brother instead of like somebody you met like a few years ago. So it's nice. I think it helps me a lot. Mm-hmm. It's tough. I mean, right now we're both doing econ and a minor in entrepreneurship. And yeah, it's been a good one. I think last year I took probably the hardest class, and I think it's definitely the one that like makes or breaks people, whether they stay or drop econ. And it was definitely a grind. Definitely the hardest class to take it at Princeton. It makes you kind of like rethink, like, all right, this is why this school is the number one in the country, because you had to go through stuff like this. So yeah, it's been good, challenging.
It's definitely a lot. I think coming in here, I never really expected how hard it was actually going to be, but I think just having like a set schedule that you follow every single day is really helpful. For me, that's like wake up, work out, get my class, get all my schoolwork done, try to get most of it done during the day, so then at nighttime, in between, I could rest. I know I like before practice, I'll reserve like a 30 to 30 minutes hour block where I just kind of do nothing unless I have class. And I feel like that's helpful because it gets my mind ready for what's next, like and coming with like practice and stuff. So yeah, I'd say just having like being pretty disciplined. I'd say like a lot of the guys on this team, especially him, they're really good at that and have their priorities in line. So I'd say that's probably like the biggest thing for sure.
JIT CUTZ become a thing?
Yeah, so it was actually a pretty funny story. In high school, I had the same barber for quite a while. I'd say pretty much all throughout high school, I went to the same person. And then my senior year, I remember he left. It was actually a kid, a high schooler who also cut my hair. And he left. And I was like, all right, like I'm gonna go to a bunch of different shops. I'm gonna find someone else. So I went to like a bunch of different shops. I went to 5 different places. Couldn't find one really that matched what I was looking for. And then I'd say on the 6th one was kind of my last straw. I go in there knowing exactly what I want, and I just left with something completely different. I left with like an Edgar bowl cut, and I was like, you know what, this is it. I'm gonna learn how to do it myself. And then I spent the first 4 months after that just doing my own hair and cutting my own hair, and then just getting reps in, pretty much cutting my hair every week. And then after that 4 months, I started doing some of my boys in high school. And then when I came here, it kind of just progressed upwards and started doing a lot more people. Freshman year, I'd say it was a lot more wrestlers on the team, and then this year it's like a good mix of everybody. So I do like a bunch of students. Like even over break, there was a few people who weren't able to go home, just like normal students here, and they came to me and I cut their hair, and it was pretty cool because I get to hear about all the different stories and where they came up, grew up at, and I think that's just awesome. Meeting new people, networking, like I think it's just a good mix of everything. So I'd say everybody has a good story. I think the more, like the people I cut the most, like that come back consistently, it's the best because I then get to like kind of be more part of their life and get to know more about them and kind of ask them a little bit more personal questions than I would ask somebody who just came for the first time. I don't know, the people that I cut over winter break were pretty funny. They were cracking me up. They're all from like different parts of Africa, and it's just awesome hearing about like the way their lifestyle over there. They told me when they're here, all they do is go on TikTok and play Monopoly. So it was funny because there's like 10 of them. They all learned how to play Monopoly, and I think that was sick. And then yeah, I gave them like a few American candies to try out, so they like that. But yeah, I'd say it's just a good mix of having everyone. You just kind of get to learn where everyone's from, and yeah, I'd say that those are probably the best memories I've had.
It was definitely an adjustment. I was definitely skeptical about it at first. It took me a while to let him actually do it, because I don't know, I'm very particular about my hair. So I never let him do it in high school, and even when he got here, it took me like a good few months for me to actually trust him to do it the one time, and then he did a good job, so now I let him do it. But yeah, I was definitely skeptical about it in the early days.
I know, we're waiting on Dubuque. He's the one. I do all the other coaches. I've done them all. I just did Brewer yesterday. I do him probably like once every 2 weeks. So I do the little kids too. I do shout out Wolfson and the little JIT. They come in a good amount. So it was definitely mostly YouTube, I'd say. It was just kind of like practicing on myself, watching like a bunch of different videos. I mean, you can learn pretty much anything online now. So yeah, I'd say that was probably the biggest. Also, my mom, she went to cosmetology school, so she didn't really know how to give fades necessarily, but she would know how to cut like the tops of people's hair, and that would be helpful because she would teach me, and I had to learn from that. Like, even she came up to watch one of our matches a few weeks ago, and I have a little setup in my room, and then she showed me like a few different techniques of like what to do because I was running into a few problems. And yeah, so it's definitely helpful having her because she gets to teach me, and she's always supported me through that.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. I'm so excited to go back and do that over the summer again. I think we have trials at some point in May, and then it's actually really exciting because U23 World is in Vegas next in 2026. So in October they'll be in Vegas, so that'll be sick to not have to like do that whole adjustment period in another country. And a 3-hour difference is much better than an 8 or 10-hour difference going to the Middle East. So I'm excited. It'll be nice to be able to go there and have a nice easy trip out there. But yeah, no, I love it. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully we'll see what's in store with, you know, everything else and career-wise and stuff. But, you know, definitely hopeful for the Olympics in LA, which would be an awesome opportunity if it presents itself. But yeah, no, it's great. I try to do it at least every year, go to at least something with Team Puerto Rico. So I went to Jordan before I was a freshman. So the summer going into my freshman year at Princeton, I went to Jordan, and that's the farthest I've been. I think it was like a 13-hour flight. And yeah, that was a big adjustment period. I think it was like an 8-hour time difference. But it was still cool. It was the first time I'd ever been out of the country. So getting to do that and experience that was pretty cool. Won a match, I think. Not my best tournament, but it was a cool experience. But just trying to improve on that ever since we went out there. And then been to a few other places. Went to Albania the year after. I went to Paraguay this summer. So it's cool. I get to go to everywhere pretty much. I've been almost the only continent is Australia and Africa. I want to get something out there, but I don't know if they're gonna have the World Championships over there. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like for the weight part, a lot of it is just in your preparation, like 2 weeks out, 3 weeks out, a month out. Like, it's hard. Like, if you're on an 8-hour flight, you can't be, you know, showing up to the World Championships 15 pounds over and then expecting to like be able to go run and do all that stuff for the first time out there, because you also don't even know what your training condition is going to be like. Like in Jordan, like we had to go to this place where one mat was like, it was like half a mat and it was freezing. So I mean, it's you never know, so you kind of just had to be prepared for the worst. And if things turn out great, they turn out great. But I feel like it's all about what you do before the trip, and then just kind of getting through that flight and getting your legs out. But I feel like I've done it so many times now. I mean, yeah, like a 13-hour flight is rough, but it's not that much different. Your routine doesn't really change. I'd say the biggest thing is when you get there, like either staying awake or forcing yourself to go to sleep, depending on what time of the day is. Getting adjusted to the time zone on the first day is so important, I feel like.
Yeah, so definitely a huge adjustment. It's not what I expected at all. A lot more challenging. I knew it was going to be hard, but you know, it's one of those things you don't know until you're like in it. And I think it was just a big adjustment. Also living on my own, like I've never lived on my own before, so I think that's also another huge thing. But yeah, no, it was the first semester academic-wise when it didn't go the best, but I'd say I definitely made adjustments and kind of figured out what worked for me. But no, I love it. It's good now. I feel like I've got pretty good lock on it so far. So hopefully it stays that way, and I think it'll go good. Yeah. So like in wrestling terms, I'd say definitely this week's a big one. Rutgers and Penn. I think Rutgers is always a big match for us. It's kind of like a little rivalry. But yeah, I'd say that one's big. I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's gonna be over there this year, so it's gonna be nice to like show out over there a bit. And then yeah, academic wise, I'd say my favorite project I did here was actually last semester. I was in this entrepreneurship class, and we kind of had to come up with like our own little startup type project, and we did that. It was awesome. We made like P&Ls, we made like all the cash flow. We did everything for it. We designed products, we branded it, and I think that was really cool because it just gave me an experience of like something I potentially would want to do in the future. So yeah, I'd say that was definitely probably my favorite project. Like what he said before about when you travel out of the country, you have to be prepped. I think this is a big week because we wrestle Saturday, Monday, and then Friday, so it's like pretty much back to back to back. So I think just having time to focus on what you need to do, having everything planned out, and just cutting weight properly, getting in for like technical stuff. I think that's huge. So kind of just been on that, getting extra workouts in, doing that, and really just kind of getting my schoolwork out the way in the beginning of the week, so I have time just to focus on wrestling come Thursday, Friday. So yeah, I'd say those are like the biggest things. I'm sure he has a little bit more too. So. Mine is, I'd say I listen to a lot of Bad Bunny. My walkout song is actually, it's not Bad Bunny, but it's close. I say stuff along those lines. I know he's a little bit different, but.
So I kind of switch it. Like recently this year, I've been listening to like 2 matches out. So for like the first like 30 minutes of my warm up, I've been listening to like worship music. I think it like, I don't know, it's really nice. It calms me. And there's some songs that will really get me up too as it gets closer. So it's weird. I'll have like a specific song per match, like, or like it'll just last the whole week. I'll have like one song that I literally listen to like 10 times in 1 week, and it's just completely random. I don't know. I just have a playlist and one song will stick out to me per week. And then, yeah, like closer to the match, a lot of it is like Spanish music. Like my walkout song is a Bad Bunny song. And then like I also have a rap playlist that's like 9 hours long. So whatever comes up on there, like right before my match comes up, and that's kind of what I listen to. A little bit more like upbeat, fast paced, like right before I go out. That would be a rough one, but I don't know. Just gotta get my heart rate up. Yeah, I mean, worst case, I just start thinking about the match, and that'll get my adrenaline going enough. So, I mean, I kind of shut off my music. Like, I mean, I put it on pretty long. I think I turn it off like second period of like the match before me. But I mean, yeah, worst case, you just got to think about the match, think about wrestling, and that'll usually get my heart rate up enough.
Have Cody Brewer sing his Bad Bunny.
Yeah, make Cody Brewer
singer
talk to me for like an hour.
So, like, the workout, like, explain that to me, like, what's that about?
Yeah, so I mean, part of it is like cool down. Like, if I wrestled a good match, then most of it is just like a cool down. Like, I'll do some jog, stance in motion, or something like that. And then if I didn't really think I wrestled that well, or I felt like I was really tired or exhausted in my match, I'll go and do like stance in motion just to push myself a little bit more and like make sure that like I'm working my conditioning so that I don't feel that exhausted in the next match. Or if we have like a 2-day weigh-in, then it's more of like a 30-minute, like I'll go on the bike for like 10 minutes, wrestle for like 10 minutes, go on the bike for like 10 minutes, and then just keep my sweat going. I think those are like the three different times, but it's always something. It always like something small, just to, like keep your blood flowing. Unless I'm like done for the day, then maybe I'll just go sit down.
Have you tried to hear?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very important. I think it helps a lot. I mean, logistically wise, it's nice going home on the same flights, especially being so far away. But it's also nice to just have somebody to rely on and be like, if I need something, like, and a lot of people are busy. I know most 99% of the time he'd be willing to do it. So it's nice to have something like that, and to be able to go through the same things and have somebody who's like grew up the same thing and have the same background, and so a lot of the struggles can be the same, and it's nice to relate to that.
Just kind of looking at it through a lens of like what he said. Yeah, it's awesome having him here, having someone kind of who relates to you. And I know like we've wrestled our whole life, so in terms of wrestling, like I know if I need to get a good workout in, I can always text him and he'll know. We've wrestled literally for like 12 years, so I think that's perfect. Obviously logistically wise, like he said, works out going home. And then yeah, I think it's just good even outside of that. You just have to have somebody you're close with.
Hopefully, that's one of the goals. So I'm excited for 2020. I don't know what weight it's going to be at yet, but I'm very excited, and definitely something that has been a huge goal of mine. And I love freestyle wrestling, dude. I love RTC. I love all of the guys that are around here. You know, I would love nothing more than to be able to train with them for another year, and have that excitement of being able to come in and work with Reese and Quincy and Brewer and Ashland and Dubuque and all of them. So I feel like that's definitely something that's been on my mind of a decision to make. I love it, man. I feel like our coaches are very unique in the fact that they're all so different, like you said. I think they all bring a different part to the team, but they all have that one thing in common in the way of they want to win, and they're all super like mentally in the right place, so they know how to get a lot of us very focused. And it's also very nice that they've done what we've done. I feel like that adds a level of trust, that they've done what we want to do. I feel like it would be hard to blindly follow somebody that hadn't have done that already. So that part is really cool. And you know, honestly, my favorite part is just how willing they are to wrestle. Like, I feel like anytime I ask one of them, they're like, yeah, and they get excited about it, which is great. Like, a lot of coaches don't really want to wrestle anymore, so it's really cool that they get excited to be able to go with us. And if I don't have a partner, like, they might not even have wrestling shoes on, they'll go put it on and scrap with me. So, and they're honestly still in pretty good shape, so that's definitely a plus. I mean, Ashland and Brewer can still go a full match with me, and they're still in it pretty much the whole time, so that's pretty cool for us.
You guys got any coaches?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's been a few with Brewer and Joey Davi. That's been a really funny one. I don't know. Ashland just had a little funny encounter, or I guess realization, with Matt Martino, which was, I can't really talk about it, but it was something Ashland was like worried about for a while, and then he finally found out that it was Matt. So it was funny to be around.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, they're all a little bit crazy, and it's funny. I spent a lot of time with Brewer this past summer, just going over to his house and just chilling. He has a nice pool there, so it's crazy, especially Jackson, his boy. They're fun.
The team.
I think we're all just so different. Like, it's crazy that there could be 3 different sets of brothers, and we could all be so different. I feel like there's this like running joke that Chris and Matt hate each other, or that Chris hates Matt, which is funny. I don't know. I don't know. I can see it both ways. I think I could see them really like each other. I could see them not like each other, but it's funny. It's like a running joke that nobody can figure out. Ty Whelan's been trying to figure it out all year. And the Garibaldis, I mean, they're a little bit farther apart, so we don't really spend that much time with them. So I feel like they talk like during practice, but I don't know how much they talk out of practice. But yeah, it is crazy. Like, I feel like everybody is just, all three sets of brothers are so different, but it is funny. The team has always had like brothers on it. Like, before us, there was the Langs and then the Stefanik. So it is, I guess it's just a family thing. Like, it says something about the program, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say they're definitely harping a lot on the making it personal. I think that's big. I think they're also talking a good amount about having like a why. I think that's super important, because if you're just doing everything blindly, I think that doesn't set you up for like ultimate success. It might give you like short term, but I think having a why definitely is definitely good. And yeah, I'd say also kind of Brewer's always recently been talking to me about just like being positive all the time. I think there's moments like you might give up a takedown, you might lose the match. Like, I think it's important to be positive and always kind of, he's always saying looking forward to what's next, and that's huge, because if you dwell too much on the moment, you're gonna miss the other opportunities in front of you. So I think just a mix of those two are super important. But yeah, I'd definitely say those are probably the top ones.
My ideal match start, I don't know if I have an ideal first move, but I mean, I feel like for anybody, I mean, scoring in the first 30 seconds is definitely ideal.
Probably maybe get into like just open them up more. I'd say probably ideal is like there's a lot of pressure on like the head and stuff. Start wearing them down early. I think that's huge. And yeah, if you can get a score in the first early bit, first 30 seconds to a minute, I think that's huge for the results of the matches.
Me, definitely Ashnall. I think it's definitely Ashnall. We definitely go back and forth. There's days where he'll beat me up for sure, and there's definitely some days where I'll get him. But I'd say out of anybody, he definitely is like the most frustrating, because you just never know. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's always been definitely Brewer. He's a little bit closer to my weight, so I wrestle him a good amount. And we're always just scrapping whenever we do get a wrestle. I'd say just from like a mental standpoint, definitely Eligh, and then also Ty pushes me a lot, because although we're like way different in weight class like range, just kind of seeing them do things. I remember we did like plank, see who could do it the longest, and these two were like the last ones up, like us three. So I think just stuff like that, kind of, they both got super tough mindset, and I think that's super helpful, and pushes me.
The funniest person?
Don't think too hard.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was him at one point, but I feel like, I'm trying to think recently, I feel like no, it's X. It's 100% X. I forgot about X, but yeah, no, it's definitely X or Vasquez. I think those two are up there. They're pretty funny.
Yeah, I'd say X. Always cracking some sort of joke, so.
I'd say my weight management for sure has been much better this year. And just holding position, like staying like calm in a match, like you with the first takedown, like who cares? Just like keeping pressure on the guy and staying the course has been a big like mental adjustment for me.
Yeah, I'd say kind of just having control on like my motions, whether that's in match and practice. Because I know in high school I like let loose a little bit, and that would sometimes get me in trouble. So that, and yeah, kind of what you said is just staying in position and not really breaking that, and just kind of wrestling more free is huge. So probably those things are the top ones.
You're doing cleanup?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done right now, so not bad.
And don't take the jacket off.
All right.
So I'm gonna take some photos of you.
All right, perfect.
It smells good. What is it?
It's just like aftershave.
It smells really good.
Thanks. Word. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Ethan Rivera, also JIT CUTZ. So thank you for watching UNCUT featuring JIT CUTZ. And yeah, enjoy the show. So.